back from the eye doctor, and now I am trying to see what I want for lunch. So I don't know. I might just head on home. I do have a Subway salad in the fridge that I can eat. Had that with some unsweetened tea with lemon. Good, nobody's coming. Feels good to be headed back home. I think I have an 11:30 meeting. Yeah, I'm gonna head on home. Nope, let me get my beer. Hopefully they're open. Let's see. They might be open. Hey, do you have a 30-can Miller Lite cold? 30-can Miller Lite? Yeah. Hey, I had that, please. As you can see, I'm stopping to get my beer. So they're open, so that's perfect. Thank you. Hold on, y'all. Thank you, sir. Have a good one, all right? And stay safe. Use my hand sanitizer just in case he has COVID. I don't want it. Hopefully not. Pull this mask down. All right, let's go. I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes when you go to certain stores, some people just act like, I'm not saying he did. First I thought he had attitude. I'm like, brother, you don't want to see me with an attitude. Not that I'm that kind of person, because I'm not. Sometimes I think we read too much into each other's demeanor or how we might say something. And it's funny, with the mask on, let me ask you guys a question. Since you started wearing that mask, do you feel yourself talking slower and louder, like you shouting at the other person? Because sometimes it seems like the other person is shouting at me, but I know they're not, because it's very hard to hear through this mask. When somebody speaks through their mask, it's very difficult to hear what they're saying, because sometimes the speech is like, I guess, muffled, so it's not as clear. And then once you get your words out through the mask clear enough for the other person to understand you, that's the challenge these days. Especially if you're a person who speak with a very soft voice. If you speak with a very soft voice, I'm like, you need to open your mouth up and speak just a little bit louder so that we can hear you. You know, if you got to scream or shout so I can hear you, go for it. I won't get offended. And the question I have is, how many of you all seeing somebody say, oh, wow, they look very nice? But remember, part of that face is covered. They pull that mask down, they got teeth look like Black and Decker. Teeth are jacked up, teeth are yellow and gold, all spaced out, all messed up, breath stinking. So what would you do in that situation? Now, me personally, I tell anybody, don't kiss anybody, don't drink behind anybody until this mess is over with. But I was just wondering, we all walking around America looking like American ninjas with our face covered up. And it's hard to see the person's face. Because to see if somebody you like, you gotta see the entire face. You just can't look at the eyes. That nose and that mouth makes a big difference on someone's facial features that we may or may not be attracted to. You know, what's attractive to one person, the next person might not find that same person attractive. We all have our own preferences, desires, or wants, or what we look for in another person in terms of physical features. Some people like skinny people, some people like fat people, some like tall people versus skinny people, and vice versa. It all depends on what you like. But I don't know, with that mask on, I'm like, suspect. I feel like when people wear a mask, you can mask and hide a lot of who you are, if that makes sense. I believe that. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but I think it can mask who you are. Or you can hide a lot of things. Because we communicate a lot with our facial expressions, not just with the eyes, but with the mouth also. So to me, if you don't have all of the body signals there when you communicate, it's very difficult for the recipient of your message. Well, it's very difficult for you to interpret the person that you're speaking to, their body language. So, you know, it doesn't make it hard to communicate verbally, other than the sound gets muffled, but we also communicate nonverbal signals. That's what's more difficult. Unless someone is using their hands or their arms. You know. What do you think? Drop me a comment. Like, how do you feel about people wearing masks when they communicate? Especially when you meet somebody and you're interested in that person, which I hope nobody's doing right now, but some people, they feel like they have to have somebody. Like, how do you get past what the other person is trying to convey to you? Or maybe they're trying to hide something from you for right now, but they will maybe reveal some secrets to you later. I don't know. Maybe they have a lot of baggage they're not willing to share with you yet. So do you think that mask hides some of who we are? Because we all know, before COVID-19 came about, a lot of us was sitting in these clubs, the bars, different restaurants, sit there and look at other people, and we might see somebody attractive that we might find very intriguing, that we might want to get to know. But because all that was taken from us, how do you get past that to really meet somebody? Because COVID-19 doesn't stop us from living, it just changed the way we live, right? Now, me personally, would I date anybody? Let's say if I try to date somebody during the pandemic, would I do it? No. And the reason why I won't do it, because this is not the time to get to know your bad or good habits. And these days, good habits could lead to COVID-19. But I don't want to sit up here and get infected with a death with COVID because of your negligence. Whatever that might mean. You know, maybe you're not a good hand washer. Maybe you don't wear a mask when you go out in public. I don't know. Maybe you don't wipe your groceries off when you come back from the grocery store. Maybe you don't sanitize as often as you should, like the surface areas that you normally touch, i.e. your cell phone, kitchen counters, bathrooms, the floors, the light switches, the doorknobs, The remote control switches, I do. So we all have different ways of doing things. The question is, how are you dealing with this pandemic in terms of how to meet somebody? And it could be you met somebody before the pandemic, but of course your schedules did not permit for you all to get together and hang out. And then when the pandemic hit, it sort of slowed things down. So you probably haven't had a chance to get the person that you are interested in, or the person that you've already met prior to the pandemic. Well, should I say immediately before the pandemic. But, you know, we all have our ways of doing things, and nobody's way of doing things is more right than the other. Because I guess that's what makes the world go round and round. But I don't know. Let me know what you think about dating during the COVID-19 pandemic that we are going through. Now, if you one of those people where you met somebody that's overseas and you're not able to travel, okay, at least you can still communicate regularly via Zoom, different tools that are out there, Teams, what else? Skype.
Please fasten driver's seatbelt.
But if you here in the States and the other person is not, technically savvy, like if it's an older person without, with a basic cell phone, who's not into all this fancy tools, like what do they do? But times are different now. What can I say? Well, I am here back at home. I will check in with you all later. So take care. Bye.